Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week of Wednesday Night Dash, presented by Stadium Scene TV. Tonight we have the Charlotte Roval 25 here in Concord, North Carolina. Let's take a minute to look at the Charlotte Roval. The Charlotte Roval is a 16-turn road course oval going through the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It opened in 1960. Charlotte Motor Speedway opened in 1960. It is 2.28 miles long, 17 turns. Technically 16 turns, 16, 17, somewhere in there. And we are going to be running the 2019 configurations. So today's rules, there's a 15-minute open qualification, and it is 25 laps. There is no competition yellow today, as it is our one road course race. So it's going to be very interesting to see the drivers and how they navigate going through the and managing tire wear and stuff. So let's take a small tour through the Charlotte Roval. So as they come down the front stretch, they're going to make a sharp left-hand turn through turn 1. And we can... Our drivers are now, but they're going to make a sharp left-hand turn. Then they're going to go around on to this little short chute, which then they are going to make two right-handers going through turns 3 and turns 4, and they're going to go going down another little small straightaway. They may be able to get up to 4th gear, but then they're going to make another double right-hander, except turn 6 is a pretty sharp right-hander coming over the hill, then going straight downhill to that left-hander. And then another sharp left-hand turn going back onto the oval. Then they're going to go around the whole oval until they get to the backstretch chicane, which here at Charlotte is very, very sharp. It's pretty much a 90-degree turn, a 90-degree left turn, and then immediately about a 45-degree right-hand turn to go back out on to the oval. Then they're going to go around turns 3 and 4 of the NASCAR oval, but turns 13 and 14 on the Roval. And then as soon as they pass pit road, they are going to brake hard for the front stretch chicane, which will take them through turns 15 and 16. And as they get through the front stretch chicane, then they'll be back, and that will be a lap. So let's go ahead and take a look at the points. After 5 races, Colton Gardner sitting strong on top with a big lead of 210 points. Sitting second is Eric Richardson with 165. Eric Richardson is not in attendance today. 2 points behind him is Jesse Fox in the number 69 machine with 163 points. And actually tied is Brian McKinney with 163 points as well. Then we have Dylan Behrens with 155 points. Then we have DJ Fluck with 144. Then Mark Willett with 144. John Miles with 133. And actually, a little note, John Miles has switched his car number from the number 45 to the number 54. Then we have Fernando Takahashi running with 127 points. Then we have Lane Snow running at the top 10 with 117. Then looking back, we have Ian Miller with 93 points. Then Tyler Vickery with 55. Bill Mulfield with 54. Then Andrew Hewitt with 30. Mark Vickers with 25. And Justin Neves and Jax Milan has not made a start yet, so they are both sitting at 0 points. Let's take a minute to shout out the House of Hockey podcast. On this week's House of Hockey, Ray sits down with longtime hockey journalist Alan Krita. They discuss the success of the Stadium Series, the New York Rangers, the Islanders, the New Jersey Devils, including the Rangers sharing the stage with local police and firefighters during their Stadium Series game. The episode airs Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern right here on Stadium Scene TV. Now, last night we had something fun happen. The launch of the Indy Racing World Series went without a hitch. Last night they kicked off with the series debuted last night at 10 p.m. Eastern from Chicagoland Speedway with Taka Timmerman calling the action. Next week is Indianapolis with the IRWS and Wednesday Night Dash both at Indianapolis on back-to-back nights. So tune in Tuesday night at 10 p.m. on Stadium Scene TV to see some Indy cars go around Indianapolis for 60 laps. And then Wednesday night, come right back here to see the NASCAR next-gen cars at Indianapolis. There is a $10 broadcast fee that will get you into the league. Visit frracingonline.com/IRWS to learn more. Now let's take a look real quick at the Wednesday Night Dash schedule. Now this week we're at the Charlotte Roval, obviously, and then next week we're going to head to Indianapolis, and that will close out February. Then we're going to start March off strong, heading to Texas, and then we're going to be rounding out week 9 at Dover Motor Speedway, and then closing out the season at Kansas at night under the lights. That's going to be very, very fun. Remember, tune in at around 10 p.m. on Stadium Scene TV. Now, our drivers have been qualifying, and they're about ready to get going. Ian Miller sits on the pole right now as they sit with about a minute and a half left. Ian Miller's fastest lap is a 1:22.9. And Fernando Takahashi currently sitting in second with a 1:22.97. Ian Miller set a 1:22.95, and Fernando Takahashi set a 1:22.7. As we're waiting for the session to finish, let's go and take a peek at Ian Miller as he comes around that chicane. You can see very, very hard left and then a quick right-hander. You know, Ian Miller is the road course guy in our Wednesday Night Dash League right now. As you can see, 1,700 iRating. I believe has the highest iRating out of everyone here. Actually, not so fast. Fernando Takahashi on track right now has a 2,400 iRating on road. So Fernando Takahashi is a bit of a road course ringer in our league. Trying to see if we have any other road course ringers. It's like Bill Mulfield, as of right now, sitting at a 1,300 iRating, and I think that's about it. We got 10 drivers here tonight, which is definitely really cool. And as they sit right now, Ian Miller should be your pole sitter. Like Ian Miller might have one last flying lap. He can improve on his time at all. So 10 drivers here tonight. Ian Miller, John Miles, Brian McKinney, Fernando Takahashi, Bill Mulfield, Colton Gardner, Jesse Fox, Dylan Behrens, DJ Fluck, and Lane Snow. I was told last time we were here that I was pronouncing Dylan's name wrong the whole time. So I'm going to try and fix that, and hopefully I can keep her going all right. So it looks like everybody is pulled off the track now as they're going to get set and start gridding for the start of this race. Like DJ Fluck and Colton Gardner are still just sitting on pit road. I think they're probably waiting for them to get off pit road. Session to start. Got about 2 seconds left. Ready. Drivers are starting to grid now. All right, we have Ian Miller sitting on the pole. Then Fernando Takahashi sitting P2. Then we have Colton Gardner sitting P3 and Jesse Fox sitting P4. We have John Miles sitting P6 and Bill Mulfield sitting P6. Then we have Brian McKinney running P7 and Dylan Behrens running P8. DJ Fluck running P9 and Lane Snow rounding out the field today. Definitely going to be a fun one as we're watching the drivers go through the process. A little bit loud. Let's see if we can dial up that number 48 machine. Ian Miller, it's Hunter in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, man. You put that thing on pull. How confident are you tonight?
I mean, I don't love this track. The altitude change is a little bit weird, but you know, it seems like I've got pace, so I'm just gonna try and run it clean and let Fernando through if I gotta. But I'm just trying to keep it on the podium.
Fernando seems pretty quick as well, so you definitely might have a challenge tonight. But good luck out there.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Right as I go to the backstretch, let's see if we can drag in that number 99 machine. Let's see who else is in here. Let's see. Fernando, it's Hunter in the booth. You got a copy?
So good.
All right, man. Set that thing outside pole running P2 today. How confident do you feel? May have lost Fernando, but that is okay. As they're coming through the final chicane. If we want to get any last interviews, I think we'll be okay. All right, here we go. We're getting ready. Pace car getting ready to make that safe left hand turn. I might take you all the way outside as we see the start of this race. Looks like Lane Snow is still on pit road. He might have elected to start from the pits, so that'll be very interesting to see how that dynamic will work. All right, pace car is down. And it looks like they're already going. Green flag is about to be out. Green flag is out now. Everybody, already a bit of an incident with the number 66, the number 50 or 69, 54, and looks like, who's that? Bill Mulfield up in that. Back of the pack is having some bit of some issues right off the start, but looks like they're able to keep it going. DJ Fluck, Bill Mulfield, and Jesse Fox in that. Jesse Fox looking to get around DJ Fluck. Let's look back up front. We got a bit of a 3-car breakaway. Looks like Ian Miller, Fernando Takahashi, and Colton Gardner are within a second of each other. You know, I gotta say, I'm not really a fan of the camera angles here at the Charlotte Roval. Fernando Takahashi gets a good run out of that backstretch chicane. Is going to be putting a hard charge as they go to the front stretch chicane. Let's ride around with Fernando for a lap as he puts the pressure on Ian Miller for this lead. So the thing that's going to be huge, that's going to give you a huge advantage, is being smooth through the infield sections. And Fernando actually goes very, very, very wide, but is able to keep it pretty close to, oh my goodness, to Ian Miller. They're still only within half a second of each other. Colton Gardner still holding on to that third place spot, but the battle for the lead right now is still raging on. Both of these drivers are incredibly talented, as Ian Miller actually gets onto the curbing just a little bit, and that's going to give Fernando Takahashi that inside lane as they come down into turn 1. Oh, and Ian Miller actually loops it and hits the inside wall, but is able to keep it straight. Hopefully he doesn't have too much damage on his car. Looks like he just got on the gas a little too aggressively there and looped it around and got into the wall. But he's able to keep it running. Hopefully he can get that out of his head and he can put down some killer lap times and get lead back. Fernando Takahashi now with no threat in the mirror, about 3 seconds now. Nothing in Fernando's mirror, but now Ian Miller starting to close the gap back onto Colton Gardner. .6. As of right now, Fernando Takahashi is the driver that set the fastest lap. Looks like all of our other drivers are pretty evenly spaced out. Fernando Takahashi is still putting down heaters. Ian Miller gets around Colton Gardner, moves him up to position number 2. And now we're really going to see if Ian Miller can track down that 99 of Fernando Takahashi. Now this is definitely going to be a tire race since there is no competition yellow. This is going to be a tire. Who can save their tires more to be able to push at the end of this race? Ian Miller, one of our endurance drivers for the iRacing Endurance team. That is, right now it's myself, Ian Miller, Eric Richardson, Tyler Vickery, and Mark Vickers make up part of our endurance team. And Colton Gardner is also a part of the team. We actually have a pretty good size team for endurance events. About last month we ran the Daytona 24. Colton Gardner ran with a couple of the IRWS drivers and a couple other drivers that joined our endurance team. And then myself, Ian, Tyler, and Mark, and Eric ran the Daytona 24 and the LMP2. We got a 9th place finish out of, I think, 16 cars. I think 16 cars in class. We got a 9th place finish. So it was a fun event, and here in about a month or so, about a month from today, actually, or in a couple days, will be the Sebring 12 hour that we will participate in. That is on March 23rd. I think we're going to do that March 23rd, or we would do it the night before, but I think we would do probably Saturday morning. So yeah, if you love endurance racing, come on out. I usually stream my point of view. I think Ian Miller streams. Mark streams, and usually we have DJ Fluck and Taka Timmerman in the booth running a broadcast style stream. Got a battle happening on track between the number 54 and the number 8 as they come through the infield and get ready to head back onto the oval. John Miles gets past Brian McKinney for position number 4. You know, it's actually kind of really cool to see because a lot of our drivers will say that they don't like turning right. You know, they are oval people. They're not really road course people. But other than that first lap incident between Jesse Fox, Bill Mulfield, and DJ Fluck, it's been pretty clean. You know, these drivers probably aren't pushing us super hard, unlike Fernando and Ian. Ian actually just set the fastest lap of the race, but is not actually gaining time towards that number 99 machine. But anyways, what I was saying is a lot of our drivers are doing pretty good on the road courses. You know, it's one of those things where a lot of NASCAR leagues will only be like only ovals, and or the road course race is just like a just get through it type of race. But in our league, you know, the road courses have competition, and like you have to be a decent road course driver to get through these races. You can't just fake it till you make it. And that's honestly really cool to see. To have a league that has both competitive road course drivers and competitive oval drivers. You know, Ian Miller is one of the people that I think of. Came on in our GT3 season. When we did that so long ago. We got introduced to Ian Miller in our GT3 season, and he was road course only. He was road only. He's actually still rookie. Yeah, he's still rookie in oval. He has a rookie license in oval, but a Class A with a 1700 iRating in road. But Ian Miller is quickly learning oval racing and is adapting very, very fast. The gap staying at roughly about 4 to 4.5 seconds between our leader Fernando Takahashi and Ian Miller. Colton Gardner sitting there in third, having a good run as well. You know, if you would have talked to Colton Gardner exactly a year ago, the one road course race was always his most feared race. You know, when DJ and Eric had the idea of doing a full GT3 season, Colton Gardner was one of the first people that was kind of like nervous about that. But he has shown a lot of improvement in the past couple of months. He was working really hard to be able to run the Daytona 24, and he ran it in the BMW GTP, which is one of the hardest cars in that IMSA endurance lineup. Now, a lot of people will gravitate towards the Cadillac or the Porsche GTP, but the team that Colton Gardner was a part of decided to run the BMW, and they did pretty good in there. They got 14th in their class, which they had a lot more. I think they may have had like 20 or 23 people overall. No, in the GTP class, so 14th for them was pretty good. You know, it was the first time that Colton Gardner ever did an endurance race, and he was asking me for tips. He was like, "How do you basically how do you do it?" And like the thing that I always say when talking about endurance racing is it's a mind game. It's nothing like you could be, even if you're 2 seconds off the pace, as long as you keep your head in the game, you'll be totally okay. And that's kind of the mindset that a lot of the drivers are having tonight. You know, this, for some of these drivers, it might be one of the hardest night in this entire season. But some of the drivers, this might be a brand new experience to them. Some of them, this might be okay. As we see DJ Flux stopped on the track, he's gonna let Colton Gardner go by, and then DJ Flux is gonna gas it up. Fernando Takahashi really setting the lap times down that time by. Fernando Takahashi ran a 123.1 and Ian Miller ran a 124.2, so almost a second faster than Ian Miller in that number 48 machine. I mean, this dude's got 2400 road iRating. You know, I'm seeing in looking throughout the people running right now, there really is a wide range. We've got about 3 people that are Class A in road. We've got a couple people Class B. Not really seeing any Class C drivers. Actually, yeah, I am. DJ Fluck, Colton Garner Class C drivers right now. And then we've got a couple of rookies out there. Jesse Fox is one of them. Or no, Jesse Fox is Class B. John Miles is a rookie, and Dylan Barron's a rookie as well. As Jesse Fox gets around the number 8 of Brian McKinney. And, you know, this race is already ticking off pretty quickly. Oh, Fernando Takahashi actually off track there. That's going to close the gap a lot towards Ian Miller. Look at Ian Miller coming up very, very quickly. Zoom out a little bit. The gap is now only about a second and a half to 2 seconds. And we might have a race once again, ladies and gentlemen. Ian Miller going to be pushing extra aggressive after noticing that mistake from Fernando Takahashi. But now the question is can Ian Miller capitalize on that mistake? We're going to take you a lap around the racetrack with Ian Miller. As he comes through the final chicane there, he's going to cross the start-finish line and make that sharp left-hander right through Heartburn Turn 1. Going to go make another slight left-hander, then head to the Bank of America double right-hander. It's a right and then another quick right. Then head on to this little short shoot as they go back and forth to another 2 right-handers. This is that very sharp right-hander I was talking about. And then right down the hill into a left-hander. That's where you can really lose the car right there. Then they go back onto the oval. This is where you're really going to feel out those legs of your car. Going to get to 5th. It's going to be in 5th for just a little bit, though, as they go quickly. Head to sharp left-hander, then a quick right-hander right after that. And then back on to the backstretch chicane. There's a pretty good battle happening between Brian McKinney and Jesse Fox right now. Brian McKinney actually got back around the 69 of Jesse Fox. They go into the braking zone. Jesse Fox is able to get into the braking zone better, but is not able to get the same drive off that he needs to. He needs to be. Definitely keep this battle in your mind, and as we jump across the racetrack, you know, it seems like Ian Miller is considerably quicker than Fernando Takahashi through the infield portion of the racetrack. But once I get back onto the oval, Fernando is just able to able to put down the power. It seems like Ian Miller just can't drive off the corner as well as Fernando Takahashi can. So maybe there's a bit of a downforce thing, but they are running fixed setups here tonight, so everybody should have the same equipment. Maybe there's little changes that you can make on the car. Maybe like brake bias changes that allows Ian Miller to get to be able to get closer through the infield. Take a quick back look at this battle. Jesse Fox and Brian McKinney You know, Jesse Fox, after having that lap 1 incident, had to go all the way to the back, but is now back into the mix. As you saw there, for just a little bit, Brian McKinney actually locked up his tires just a tiny bit, and that allowed Jesse Fox to get oh so close. And they're going to be racing very hard as the leaders cross the line. Now there will be 10 laps to go here. We're going to keep an eye on this battle here between the 8 and the 69. Colton Gardner is out? Question mark? Oh, he must have had a blinking issue. Jesse Fox is able to... Oh, it looks like he just hit the wall. Looks like he had a pretty heavy lick there. Go back and see if we can catch that. Look like we'll be able to catch that as of right now. Well, that's gonna put... Oh... Ian Miller just lost a lot of time. He must have had himself a bit of a spin. He's now 5 seconds back from Fernando Takahashi. What a run from Fernando Takahashi, though. This man has been quick this season. He's been impressing on the ovals and was looking for that breakout win. And there's still 10 laps to go. There's still a lot of racing left, but what a place to get your breakout win. Of Wednesday Night Dash. I shouldn't be commentator cursing him right now, because there is still 9 laps to go. If you all can remember, way back in our one of the first ARCA seasons, I think it was the first ARCA season. When I got my first win way back at the Milwaukee Mile, it was the season closer for that ARCA season. I want to say it was season 4. That seems right. I want to say season 4. And now we're in season 8. Man, these seasons click off so fast. It's like you don't even realize. I first joined the league in season 3 in the truck season, or the very first truck season. I remember I joined with 3 races to go, I think. And I think I got all 3 podiums. I think I got a second, and a third. My very first 3 appearances. Yeah, and then I decided to hop over to the broadcast booth, and honestly, I've been having a lot of fun doing broadcast. You know, with my current work schedule, it's a little tough. Just the way that time works. But I've been having a lot of fun. I wanted to kind of try a new challenge and try something different. Because at the end of season 5, was our last season 5 was the last time we did next gen cars, because in season 6 was the GT3s, and season 7 was the ARCA cars. No. Season 5 was GT3s. Season 6 was the next gens. Season 7 was the ARCA cars, and then back in the next gens now. I think that's how it was. Maybe. Or maybe that's just wrong. But I know I did the broadcast for the ARCA last season and the next gens this season. And honestly, it's been really cool to get to know, like, see these drivers race. It's definitely given me the itch to drive again in this league. You know, I think the competition right now is higher than ever. And it would be so fun to jump back in the driver's seat. Oh. Only about 6 laps to go here now. So as we get ready to wind this race down, let's take you for a little bit, just for maybe a lap or so. Let's take you on a little bit of Turn It Up, presented by Stadium Scene TV. right, and we are back to close this thing out. Only 4 laps to go, about to be 3, as Fernando Takahashi is getting ready to cross the line here. Good, clean, strong race from Fernando Takahashi. From the drop of the green flag, was able to make that good move on Ian Miller, capitalizing on that mistake in that beautiful Toyota Camry. Brand new Toyota Camry. XSE. I just love how much you can cut that that turn back on. Back onto the oval there. Two laps to go here now. Just ride along with Fernando Takahashi as he's just on cruise control at this point. Got his head locked down. No, as of right now, Ian Miller is quicker than Fernando, but it is, in my opinion, it's a little too late. He's got about a. He's just going into turn 5 now. We'll see if that gap decides to. But I think we'll be all right. Back onto the backstretch he goes now. White flag one more time around here, sponsored by Stadium Scene TV. Fernando going through turns 1, turns 2, very smoothly. Turns 3, and then turn number 4, going on to the short chute. 5, turn 6. The gap closing a tiny bit, but it is too little, too late. Back onto the oval for the final time. Comes around NASCAR turn 1 and turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Into the braking zone. Cleaner than ever. Over the curbs. Through NASCAR turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Down. Okay. And Fernando Takahashi wins here at Charlotte. Good run, strong run for Fernando. Ian Miller brings it home, P2. Good strong run for him. Colton Gardner coming around turns 15 and 16, hitting the chicane for the final time. Colton Gardner is going to bring it home, position 3. John Miles having a bit of an eventful beginning, but able to rally at home to a position 4. DJ Fluck comes across the line for the final time. Bill Mulfield comes across the line for the final time. And Jesse Fox is going to round out the top 5. Ryan McKinney here, coming around for the final time. Looking back at our leaders, we got the 99 and the 48 giving each other a little bit of salute, as we're going to drag them into the Discord call here in a second. Where are they?
Then when I was doing the replay, say, oh man, I forgot to press.
Oh, sorry. Oops. Wrong. I dropped the wrong person. Okay. So we're going to start out here with Colton Gardner. Colton Gardner makes a strong run and is able to bring it home P3. Colton Gardner, tell me about your night.
Well, it started out pretty good. I thought I was going to be able to hang out with them up there, up front. But early, about lap 2 or 3, I hit the wall and I got some toe damage on the right front. And it made it so difficult for that whole race. I was just hanging on for dear life. But it was a lot of fun. It was a good test. I'm glad we're done with road courses for now.
You know, I was just saying earlier that it seems like our league is like, I'm not gonna say a fan of road courses, but like it doesn't seem like a whole lot of people are really scared of road courses anymore, and like a lot of our drivers have the ability to run road courses pretty comfortably. And you know, you didn't do anything that was too crazy, which is exactly what you need to do in these types of races to bring it home on the podium.
Yeah, it was very interesting. This is a very technical course for the most part, and it's very difficult. But it was a lot of fun.
And I think, yeah, and that's the thing about Charlotte is it's not like other places or even like other Rovals like Daytona or Indianapolis. You're not really on the throttle for a long time. Even going around the oval, you're still getting ready for the backstretch and then the front stretch chicanes. So it's definitely a tricky, one of the trickiest Rovals that I've seen. But Colton, I think that's all I have for you tonight. Before I let you go, do you have anybody to thank?
Yeah, first off, I'd like to thank one of my buddies, Chris Fuge. I got him in here tonight to be able to spot for me. He was a big help on keeping my head straight after I hit that wall, and he was giving me a ton of good information throughout the whole race. I want to thank my sponsors and supporters for everything that they do, and we'll be back next week for Indy and put on another show.
Absolutely. Well, Colton, that's all I have for you tonight. Have a good rest of your night.
Yes, sir. You too. Good broadcast.
Thank you. All right, P2 tonight is the number 48 of Ian Miller. How was your night?
Oh, sorry, microphone was muted. I think that went pretty well by and large. Taka, took advantage of a mistake I made coming out of the final corner, and then I just got on the throttle too early, trying to keep a nose up on the inside and spun, and I think I had the pace to take him on because I kept just seeing the relative go down and go down and go down. But just a couple of mistakes I made tonight, just not fast enough to overcome that. So I think it really went pretty well tonight.
Yeah, you had a very strong, really strong night. Yeah, obviously there was that incident when you looped it around in turn 1 there. And actually, the reason why Fernando was able to get side by side with you is because you hopped the chicane curb just a little bit, and he was able to
Yeah, I
get
just
that
wasn't able to
run.
get power down. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of noticed throughout the whole race is you kind of had the pace in throughout the infield part, but Fernando was able to put the power down quicker through almost all the corners, and that's when that gap would kind of even itself out.
Yeah, I thought it was actually the opposite. I kept feeling like the relative was increasing during the infield, but I was able to get on the oval faster. I'd always see it decrease while I was running up on the oval. But yeah, either way, it's a great race. When they're sort of boring, that's when you know it's going well, right?
Yeah, right. I know. It's always like it's a little boring for the broadcast, but the drivers are always usually having a heck of a time out there.
Yeah, I mean, and these cars feel like like you're just ice skating the entire time.
Yeah.
So for it to be boring in spite of that is pretty good.
Yeah, there were some pretty good battles deeper in the pack. I know Brian McKinney and Jesse Fox were having a heck of a battle the entire race, pretty much. They were within half a second the whole time. But
Jeez.
that's that's pretty much all I have for you, Ian. Before I let you go, is there anybody that you have to thank tonight?
Thank my beautiful fiance Elena and my job for paying me because I don't have sponsors. I need to get sponsors. Everyone else here in the podium has sponsors. I need to get on that. Find people to like me.
All right. Well, Ian, you have a good rest of your night.
Yeah, thank you, man. You too.
And our winner tonight, Fernando Takahashi, gets his breakthrough win in Wednesday Night Dash. Fernando, tell me about your night.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I think it was a surprise for me to come out as a winner tonight. I knew I had like a good pace, but it's always unpredictable. Driving this car here on this track is super hard. I felt on my toes all the time. Uh, at some point after I was able to go through Miller and get a few some space, then I kind of breathe out a little bit. I was trying to be very conservative. I even made a couple of mistakes that almost cost me the race, but I was able to recover them fast because I wasn't pushing, too hard as I was afraid of, you know, making a huge mistake, especially on the infield. Uh, the road experience that I have definitely helped tonight, especially on the chicanes. Using the clutch there and allowing the car to carry a little more speed. That gave me an edge, I guess. Uh, Even the mistakes, coming out in front. So it was a really great race.
Yeah, definitely. You had pretty much, like, from what I could see, you had a clean race the whole time, and once you were able to put about a 4 second gap on Ian, you really that gap never really went any lower than that. Other than that time that I think you went off the track once and the gap
Yeah.
closed down, but you're able to drive right back. So overall, really really strong performance tonight. And yeah, the road course kings are the ones that won tonight. You and Ian Miller are both the two kind of road course ringers that we have in our league, and I think we have a couple more. But yeah, you guys definitely had the show tonight. I think that's all I have for you. Before I let you go, is there anybody that you'd like to thank tonight?
Definitely, yeah. I'd like to thank God first, foremost. Also thank my family, my beautiful wife, Christiane, my boys, Thomas, Vinny, and Nathan. They support me in the race. Thank Bill Muffield, my teammates from WJ Muffield Motorsports, that are allowing me to represent the team, and especially to our sponsors, Garza Law, Extreme Sim Racing, Newton Insurance Agency, and GoPro. They really support the team and help us to go through these and practice these as an esports. So really thankful for everyone and everyone that organized this competition. Thank you, DJ, for inviting us to participate. this has been really fun every week. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, and that was Fernando, your winner here tonight. Fernando, you have a good rest of your night.
Thank you. You too. Great broadcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, y'all. Another really, really good week in the books. Really strong performances from people tonight. We had a breakout winner. Always good to see. Remember, next week is the big Indianapolis Motor Speedway return to the Oval. It'll be definitely really fun to see how our drivers can handle that big old track that is Indianapolis. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. Make sure you tune in once again next week at 10 o'clock p.m. on Stadium Scene TV. My name is Hunter Hughes, and have a good rest of your night. Goodbye.